Outside the margins of life's work and progress are the scribbled notes and changes waiting to be made, written down before the memory starts to fade. Outside the margins of a mind unchained, set loose, is a soul that seeks and yearns and finds and learns a truth. Outside the margins of the known universe lie worlds and spaces, energies and faces, to infinity and beyonder. Welcome.
Wow, Chris, what a entry. I'm impressed.
That was awesome.
Do you all like that? That was inspired by Ronny's title of Outside the Margins, which of course we are called.
Well, all I can say, I wish I could have, an applause button.
I wish I could have a bell button. How you doing, Freddie? Welcome.
I'm doing pretty good. Hi, Ronny.
Hey, Alan.
What's up, Alan?
Hey. Hello.
Hey, Alan.
Hey, buddy. Thank you.
You're doing a great back end. Alan's producing today, Truth All's Away, and I know he's going to do a good job. He's already, wow, thank you. Yeah, okay. Sure you were going to say thanks, Ronny. Chris, Chris and Fred, what do you guys want to talk about today?
Well, I'm open to just about anything.
I've heard that about you.
Definitely want to. Oh, really? I better watch what I say.
Oh no, sir. Stay away.
Well, you know what? There's a few girls talking, and I've got some boss,
That's some pretty cute ones too.
Joking, Fred. You're just going rata. Oh shit! What have I said?
So I'm definitely open to talking about.
Oh no, Fred. Your sound is just shocking, my brother.
That must be my fault. I took full blame of Fred because I put out an energy out there to bring it all together for this event, and I said if anything goes wrong, it's my fault, Fred. So yeah, you can't blame Fred. You must blame me.
Why did all this happen? Why was it all allowed to go this far, this bad? Why has an interesting answer.
Maybe what Fred has to say is not the right time. I don't know, but Fred, I'm so sorry I let you down.
I don't even think you guys can hear me right now, right?
Yeah, I can hear you right now. So just keep talking.
All right. Until the next pause. No, I really don't know what's going on. I did that whole adware and spy bot thing. Everything looks fine. So I don't know what's going on with my internet connection.
Well, you reckon that it was slow to downloading all those pirated movies that you're watching as well, so.
Chris, excuse me.
Come on, we all do it.
Well,
it just really cracks me up where halfway through the movie somebody actually stands up in front of the screen and walks out.
Oh.
That actually brings up a subject.
I'm not scared of them.
Back in 2009, a big agreement was made between all the ISPs and the government. Now, the government's actually put on this law on the ISPs that they're pretty much responsible for any illegal downloads through their ISP, through their company, their ISP. So that means that severe monitoring must happen. Thus, the censorship that we've been seeing for the last couple of years. Now, one of the things I must sort of bring up is that the impact on us is, that the ISPs are going to be looking out for what we're downloading, what we're actually interacting with on the internet. So, because of the heavy fines and the implications that can be of a legal nature, with the responsibility that the ISPs now have agreed to take on with the governments, we're going to see a lot of changes, which are supposed in 2012. So, where we've got away with things in the past with copyright, we're not going to be able to do so much in the future. Yes, there's going to be guys out there that, are always going to sort of try and go around this with their programming. But when you can only connect through the internet through an ISP and they are liable, our whole future of our internet experience is about to change.
Fred's gone? Oh, man.
Yeah, he'll be back.
Drop dead, Fred. Yeah, well, I noticed that the Australian Google is really screwed up at the moment. It's you have to click on the link twice to actually get to where you want to go. The first time takes you to an ad, which has got nothing at all to do with what you asked for. And kind of pisses me off. Does yours do that for you?
I wasn't even listening to you, sorry.
Typical. Fucking typical.
Hey, Rev J's has just signed on.
Get his ass in here. I want to talk to him. Rev, I missed talking to you last night, man. We had Ronny's eldest boy, Brody, on, and they were talking some crazy big pig stories. Quarter of a ton pig.
Yeah, I cannot believe that those boys just took it so casually, with that ball chasing them and ripping off the interior of the door of the car. And then how many stitches does that boy have to get? 50-something?
50 stitches, yeah. And they had a couple of beers first. Some tough Australians, damn it. Must say it was a pleasure to meet your son Brody for the first time. He's a good dude. Got on well.
Hey, look, when you are perfection, you breed perfection. Hey, Fred's back again.
Yeah, where's our Rev as well? God damn it, man. Actually, I really like that Sam on as well.
I'm having some serious issues here. Sorry, guys.
No, that's cool, man.
Yep. Signal strength low. I have no idea why.
It's kind of like we're channeling, and it's just, your lips move, but we can't hear what you're saying.
That is so not channeling, eh? You see shit, but the sound comes out fine. But
I really got to laugh at. I love as much as I'm loving the Bashar videos that we've been watching, the sound of Darth Vader that he makes when he's breathing is just too much. It's awesome.
I love the way he holds his hands with the triangle. Like, wow, I've been doing this for quite a while, and to see someone else doing something similar, and then having my artwork do the triangle thing and blah blah blah. It's just wow. I'm finding out some stuff that really fits with me.
Yeah, well, it's kind of one of those sacred geometry
so who's
things.
doing the triangle thing?
Bashar with his hands.
Who?
Bashar.
Bashar. Oh, the guy who does the channeling, right?
Yeah. Well, that Bashar is the entity which is being channeled, and apparently he's a human grey hybrid living on some different world. But no, the guy that actually channels is his name's Paul Anka, Daryl Anka, Paul Anka, one of the two.
No, it's Daryl.
It's Daryl, right? Derail.
Derail.
It's not Vernon or.
Fred, can you mute your mic when you're talking, hon?
But he is talking.
I was talking.
Oh, well, I've got lag.
Oh, gone quiet again. Good Lord. Canada, get your internet sorted out. We've had enough. Occupy Canada internet.
Well,
Can you get Rev on here?
Oh, Rev.
Drag him. Drag him kicking and screaming. Turn your mic on, buddy. We want to talk to you.
Okay.
He's in here, but he's not listening. That's a really good sign. He's not listening to his own show. Well, his own station.
Well, I must say that he may be, but he could be eating dinner like we were last night when he called on us.
Wonder what he's having, man. What sort of food do you think the Rev eats? Do you think he's a whole food purist? Do you think he juices?
I don't know, but I bet you he eats his broccoli.
I wonder if he likes his fruit.
Oh my God. Anyway,
I could live on juice. Oh man, I just love juice. It's so refreshing. It just feels like a mouthful of sunshine.
Gosh, if we were on real radios, we are on real radio, but if we were on commercial radio, on the airwaves of buzz through our physicality, I would actually play Walking on Sunshine.
I'm not going to try and sing it.
Okay. Now, I have a thought, since we're just totally not organized, but that happens.
That strange noise was. Wow. Can you do it again?
What?
Have another one?
Have another what?
Thought.
Oh, okay.
You play one after the other, and then, yeah.
Yeah, but then I can't do the rest of the show because I'll be in another reality. But then I guess the other me that you set free will be able to be what needs to...
An alternate self.
Yeah.
That's kind of down the lines of your...
Well, there is such a subject of identity level multi-dimensional anatomy,
My Lord, that sounds fantastic. Well, please do tell. You just know the name.
Well, you've kind of heard of, the scenario of the onion, layers upon layers upon layers. Well, what if that is what consciousness is? Think for a moment.
I'm thinking that comfortable silence
Okay.
is a reality thought construction, the core substance of the cosmos, consciousness, the thought as an attribute of the consciousness. Nothing is truly solid. All things are composed of consciousness, observing the form and the consciousness of which the form is made. Human consciousness emerges through an order of dematerialization, which sets the framework with which the interrelationships of consciousness can take place. Wow.
Well, the blueprint of human consciousness follows that of all dimension systems. Consciousness is broken down into 5 steps of 3 dimensions, forming separate but interwoven metaphoric bodies of light, sound, within which of portions of consciousness are carried.
Manifest reality is thought projection, made solid and externalized by relationships between the frequencies of our focus of attention and those of the projected thought forms.
Okay. We are so not on the same page here, but anyway.
Maybe it's because I'm not holding my hands like Bashar and actually like scrolling with my mouse button.
Well, I don't know, higher dimensional entities represent more energy and therefore more conscious aware than lower identities, I guess, representing the superconscious aspects of mind and being.
Brings to thought the oversoul matrix. A single soul that controls many other souls and many other bodies simultaneously.
Oh, the dimensional time matrix, which is like a frequency band.
Well, I am back.
Hey, Fred. Yeah, it sure is. Because we're just essentializing here.
Oh, God, I really do apologize. Right now, I do have a good signal strength, so let's hope it's going to stay like that for the next 35 minutes.
Sounds great.
All right, so what are we talking about?
Reality.
Yeah, and I just before you popped in, which is crazy, I just ended saying frequency bands.
No, I did catch that. Yes, I thought that was very interesting. It seems to be like there's a frequency war going on right now on the internet, on YouTube, and I do want to address that very quickly. One of our listeners, or one of the guys in the chat, Alan, I don't know if he's still here or not, but the other day he brought up a video that said 936 is a pineal gland activating frequency and DNA repairing stuff, and there's some major problems with that. First of all, there's a lot of these videos that have these claims that these are healing frequencies and that they're good for you and all that, but it's based on faulty understanding of numbers, essentially. So if I can go back 30 some years now, this guy Marco Rodin came up with family number groups. Those family number groups are 1, 4, 7, 2, 5, 8, and 3, 6, and 9. 3, 6, and 9 are very important numbers, as Tesla once said. They are a key to understanding the universe.
Which happens to be a perfect triangle.
That is correct. Now, what's happened here is Rodin essentially discovered that this triangle pattern was in his vortex-based mathematics. And then you fast forward about 20-some years, where Leonard Horowitz and Joseph Paleo thought they were discovering some secret code hidden in the Bible, where they kept seeing these family number groups, and they essentially started saying, "Oh well, these numbers, they've got to be magical healing frequencies," and they started saying things like that 528 is the love frequency, and such things as the 936 hertz is the pineal gland activating frequency. There's really no basis in what Paleo and Horowitz are saying. There are a few videos on YouTube that you can listen to. One of them is called Busting the Solfeggio Frequency Myth, where they're showing, the guy is essentially showing how these frequencies, these combinations of 147, 258, and 369, how that they're really not in tune with, they're not, there's nothing harmonious about these, this so-called ancient solfeggio frequency scale.
Is that because A is in tune to 432?
Oh no. You see, what happened is that essentially Horowitz tried to make these frequencies into something musical. Look, it's what he claims is just full of holes. He's claiming that, okay, first of all, he's claiming that 528 is the miracle frequency. Now,
yes.
Yeah. See, what he did is he took the Utqueant Laxis, I believe it's called. It's an old Latin poem where how to pronounce the scales. Like today, we know the scales as do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, do, or do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, right? When they started with the scales and stuff, that was back in, I think, the 14th century, and what they did was they took the hymn of Saint Johannes, and they took the first syllables, which were ut, re, mi, fa, sol, la, and the T or the C came from the last San Johannes. Now, here's here's one thing Leonard Horowitz is claiming is that mira gestorum, which I'll read it to you. I'll do it. I've never studied Latin, so I'll do my best to read the poem or whatever it is. Utqueant laxis resonare fibris, mira gestorum, fa muli tuorum, salve polluti labi rietum, sancte Johannes. So the mira gestorum, Leonard Horowitz says that translates into miracle. And I've done my research. I've looked it up, and it doesn't translate to miracle at all. One translation that I found for the Utquans Laxis is in English, so that these your servants can, with all their voice, sing your wonderful feats, clean the blemish of your spotted lips, O Saint John. Yeah, so I don't hear miracle in there. The Mira Gesturum essentially doesn't mean miracle at all, which is one of Leonard Horwitz's false claims. The other thing that's really funny is, at first, his 528 hertz, it's supposed to be a mi or an e on the scale. Do, re, mi, C, D, E, right? So the 528 is actually a C note if your A equals 444 hertz. Now, in parentheses, our current international standard for tuning is 440 hertz. And what I would like to see is an international standard going down to 432 hertz. I'll get back to that in a bit. Just to go back to the 444 hertz, that's your A. If your A equals 444 hertz, then your C note would be 528 hertz, and that 528 is the love frequency according to Leonard Horwitz. So you see there's a discrepancy there. Is it a C note or an E note? Is it a do or a mi? So essentially, there's a big misunderstanding within Leonard Horwitz and whoever else is promoting these kinds of frequencies. Whether it be, I'm not sure if Jonathan Goldman is pushing these same frequencies, but I've seen on Leonard Horwitz's website that Jonathan Goldman and him have worked together. So I assume they're probably using these 528s and 417s and 396s and so on. Those, again, have no basis in music. These numbers may have some importance in sacred geometry or some other stuff that I haven't gotten into yet, but they have nothing to do with music. So like I was saying, right now we have an international standard of 440 hertz, and see, what happened to me is I actually found out about Leonard Horwitz's solfeggio frequencies about 3 years ago, let's say, and I found a few videos that just had the 528 hertz tone on YouTube. And believe me, I spent a lot of time just trying to listen to them, trying to see if, they would make me feel better in any way, whether I was feeling under the weather or whether I was feeling down about something or another. And they never helped. I never found myself to be like, ooh, geez, I feel much better now. Fast forward to last May 2011. I was about to sit down and listen to a talk by Marco Rodin, the guy with the vortex-based mathematics. There's a 44-part talk of his on YouTube, and it was getting late, and I figured, you know what, I'll just start. I'll watch a couple of parts, and I'll go on tomorrow and watch a few more parts, and so on and so forth. But the video caught my attention on the related videos on the right side, and it was Jamie Buter's video, which was titled Marco Rodin's VDM and the 432. Actually, might have been the other way around. Might have been the 432 and Marco Rodin's VDM. So that video discussed the discrepancy with Leonard Horwitz's ancient solfeggio frequencies, but it also explained this thing about this 432 hertz, which I started I started looking into and found many interesting things. Back a few centuries ago, there were some composers who were dabbling into that same kind of stuff. For a long time, there was no international standard of tuning, so people tuned to just essentially there wasn't anything definite. But I know people like Mozart and Bach or Beethoven that tuned their pianos to either A equals 432 hertz or the C that equals 256 hertz.
Hey, I heard another one that was close to the 440. It was actually a 444 hertz, which was another optional tuning. Have you actually experimented with what happens around either side of the 432 hertz and either side of the 440 hertz?
Not really, but the 444 hertz is what I was mentioning earlier. That's your A note if your C note equals 528 hertz.
Okay.
So it's along that tuning.
Does that tuning have a name?
If it has a name?
Yeah, I don't know. Do any of these have names?
No, I don't think they do.
Just numbers. Okay, no, that's cool. I just wondered.
Yeah. As far as anything lower than 432, I'm not so sure. You're going up? Okay. Okay, cool. All right. Later. Okay, cool. Sorry about that.
It's all right, man.
Where was I now?
We're at
I was going to
lower than 432.
Yeah. You asked also if there's anything lower, if there's anything to having it tuned lower, and one of my favorite musicians is Jimi Hendrix, and he used to tune half a step lower than 440 on average.
What does that equate to? Have you worked it out whether that's coming close to the 432? Because it wouldn't surprise me in the slightest, knowing Jimmy.
Well, it's
how much of a turn on your tuning peg of your Strat is from 440 to 432? Is it just a little tiny tweak, or is it?
I would say it's a tiny tweak. Yeah,
a tiny one. Yeah. So it's not that different, really. Just that little tiny bit out, but it makes all the difference in the end when you explore the spiral, which you start from the point and go out. You end up in a very, very different place than the other spiral.
Well, that you do. As far as a half a step lower from 440 hertz, that's about 415.
Cool.
Now, as far as Jimi Hendrix is concerned, okay, sorry. As far as Hendrix is concerned, I'm very curious about the bootleg of his Berkeley show, because it seems to be pretty close to 432, and also the Woodstock set. That seems to be pretty darn close to 432.
Oh, Woodstock, yay!
Yeah,
Villanova Junction. When he played that, he's lit up that big spliff, and just Villanova just followed after that, and oh man, it's just mind blowing.
Yeah, totally. That stuff was truly magical. I hope one of these days we can have a chronovized event of this. The technology Andrew Bashiago was talking about with DARPA and Project Pegasus and all that good stuff.
Good old
Sorry,
Andy. He's been getting a bit of stick from some pretty stupid people lately that they've got absolutely nothing to, fight him with, yet they'll just try it for the sake of trying to make themselves feel good and someone else feel bad. It makes me sick.
Yeah, it makes me sick too. It's really sad. And, I'll say this, like, as far as Andrew Basiago is concerned, I've been listening to him for 3 years now. And I made friends with William Brett Stillings, who is a fellow experiencer of time traveling and teleportation. And I've actually had a chance to talk a few times with William. He's a very nice guy. And look, they, without having any proof other than their word of mouth, like, it's hard for me not to take them seriously. Let's put it that way.
They've got mathematical evidence in the theory.
Well, yes and no. You see, a lot of that stuff is, they experienced that as kids and teenagers. Now, they didn't build any of these devices that they used for teleportation and so on. So, I know William Stillings is a brilliant guy. If he's not a genius, he's pretty darn close to it, and he's working on stuff that is beyond our current understanding of physics and chemistry and all that. So for me, really, to hear somebody like, who was it again? Jeffrey Pritchett, right? Like, this guy's obviously upset that Basiago refused to interview him based on his immaturity. And, he's got the right to refuse to carry on interviews. And then he goes on, I got a reliable source saying that he heard Basiago swear. What's that? That has nothing to do with what Basiago was talking about. So he's trying to discredit someone because he messed up. And I can't take pity on that. So as far as Basiago and William Stillings, and for that matter, Laura Magdalene Eisenhower are concerned, they're giving me a choice to believe them or not. And right now, I choose to believe them. Again, I have no proof. But
our Universal Truth Evolution has interviewed Laura on at least a couple of occasions, and Andrew once anyway, and found them to be really great people to talk to, and there's no bad with them.
Yeah, and people, truth is stranger than fiction, and if you want proof of that, get a hold of the documentary that just came out, Thrive. What on earth will it take? If you have the money, support them, because it's really worth it. This is essentially the documentary we've been waiting for the last 5-10 years, and everything's on the table there. At least, I'll be honest, I haven't watched the whole thing yet. But so far, sorry, Mark David, the Freedom Movie Part 2 was my favorite documentary up until now. Because this, so far, it really seems to cover everything. So,
are you watching that online, Fred? Is that something that I can watch too, or is DVD you have?
No, I don't have the DVD. I know that you can order the DVD online. If you look up thrivemovement.com, I believe the website is. I'm sure if you search hard enough, you might find a pirated copy already online somewhere.
Are you talking about the Thrive movie?
Yes.
Sorry,
right.
I thought you were talking about a movie that Andy was making.
No,
my apologies.
No, sorry,
my
I
apologies.
Totally went the other way there.
Sorry, no, I just wanted to read out something that that Andy wrote once, and I hope he doesn't mind me reading it. That says, from the perspective of one standing inside a jump room. A jump room was indistinguishable from an elevator in a modern office building. The only difference is that halfway between the embarkation and the destination, a jump room morphs from a box-like structure into a cylinder. This produces pressure on the human mind and body. Otherwise, there is no mechanical difference visible from inside the room. In fact, the room in El Segundo, California, that I regularly took to and from Mars during the years of 1981 to 1983 was the elevator in that building, which is to say that the elevator in that building had a dual use, undetectable to a passenger using it to reach different floors in that building rather than to reach Mars, by the intervention of the office on the 5th floor, which could convert to its dual use and use it to jump somebody to Mars.
Yeah, wow, that's something. Listen, as far as Andrew is concerned, I will say this, like I said, I've listened to him for 3 years now. And, it's about 3 years. And, you know, the guy's been consistent in his, sorry for lack of a better term, storytelling.
Well, he is a lawyer, so he is a good storyteller. He has no problems talking and verbalizing his ideas and his
The guy is brilliant, and you know what I want to say is this: as far as Andrew Bashago is concerned, in 2011 he's been on Coast to Coast twice. He was just on this week in around November 10th, and I think the other one was around May 14th on Coast to Coast. And this year, you know, he called out Donald Rumsfeld for being part in Project Pegasus, and Barack Obama, who was known as Barry Soetoro, younger, and who apparently also has been to Mars. So I just think Americans should pay attention to that, and not take.
You're not the only ones. Do you remember the Project Camelot videos with the guy called Arthur Newman, who also claimed to have been back and forth with Jump Room from Earth to Mars?
Arthur Newman, I think.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. He's essentially, there's him and there's another guy called Michael Ralph, who I haven't really looked up, but I did see the Arthur Newman videos. I don't think that's his real name, though. I think that he was using a pseudonym for a while.
No, well, that is his real name, but he was using a pseudonym previous to that, because I remember him flashing his passport on air, actually, on one of the Project Camelot videos with, you know, his photo and everything. So yeah.
All right. Cool.
He was previously called Henry Deacon.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, thanks for clearing that up. So you have him and you have Michael Ralph, and now you have also William Stillings, who are...
and are all of these guys suffering effects from what they've done, like Arthur has been?
Well, I think so. I think they all have this, you know, I'm not so sure, but it seems like they do have to, like, that kind of stuff must take a strain on your body.
Special medication that they have to take afterwards?
Well, I think Newman was talking about having to take doses of, you know, what's the strong stuff, heroin or, you know, some hard drug.
Yeah. What about Andy? Has he ever spoken about that? About having to take any sort of medication to counteract the effects, after effects?
Well, I think on the very last Coast to Coast, he was saying how he recalls having, you know, after they get debriefed, after having gone to Mars, they had to go to hospitals, and apparently, you know, they were being told they would be given drugs to help the system, but those drugs were more for, you know, what do you call it, like brainwashing or erasing a part of the last experience.
Yeah, probably a lovely little cocktail.
Listen, I just want to say now, if I'm misquoting Andy in any way, I apologize for that. I don't mean to, you know, if I got it wrong, Andy, I'm sorry. You know, I got your back. So just want to say
likewise too, buddy. And that's all the more reason for you to come and speak on our show sometime soon.
That'd be great.
Well, you never know.
So yeah, we totally strayed with going on to Thrive and Andy and all that stuff, and I was just about
that was
to get
good,
in
but
on,
I was thinking that we've got one of those jump room exits in this very country. A place called Pine Gap.
Pine Gap.
Apparently so. Apparently so.
I've heard many people speak about it, and even some guys that have actually worked there I've heard on radio interviews before, so it seems like a pretty real thing, and according to Alex Collier, it's the biggest ET installation on Earth. It's where they go to have a holiday.
That's what Bob Dean was saying.
Bob as well? Yeah, right. Well, there you go.
I haven't heard his last Project Camelot. I guess he was at the Awake and Aware conference this
really
year.
recent. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
haven't
hope
got
he had
to see
something
it.
different to say.
I hope so, but
God love Bob Dean, but goodness me, he doesn't really give much say, really. He keeps it pretty close to his chest, but you're not ready to hear it.
yeah, that's obviously, I'm sure you feel like I do, that I disagree with that. You know, I think there's a large part of us that are ready, and we're here. And for those that aren't ready, well, the ones that are ready, we'll help them out. So let's get it on. And you know what? I can say the documentary Thrive, really worth taking a look at.
A lot of people have said that, so yeah, we're going to do that as well.
Well, guys, I know the show's coming to a close soon, and if you don't mind, I do want to just say a few things because spent a lot of time talking about Leonard Horowitz and the so-called ancient solfeggio frequencies. And I was just about to say how that got me into the 432 hertz thing, which I had never heard of, and found out later on that people like Bach and Mozart were actually tuning in 256 hertz, which is pretty close to A432. And that also, that's probably for another time, but 432 resonates with your crown chakra, and 256, 512 hertz, that resonates with your heart chakra. And there's,
that goes along with that crystic spiral that I was talking about, so that's all good with me. I totally agree on it. Yep.
That's correct. So there is a movement right now, and it's a very tiny movement, but it is happening right now, and it's slowly growing, where we want people to bring back the 432 hertz tuning. Now,
you don't necessarily have to be a muso either, because how I found the 432 is just by dream state with number sequences coming up, and I put that out on the net, and then someone come to me and said, Ronny, blah 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 blah, and it all made sense to me, and now I'm into the 432. So you don't necessarily have to play an instrument to understand this.
Right, and what I tell people is just look up some 432 hertz music online, and make sure you listen with your heart and not with your ears, because you will feel a difference. It's tiny, think about it. 8 hertz is not very much from the current standard of tuning that we have right now, but it does make quite a difference. So I recommend for people to look up online the Cosmic 432, look it up on YouTube, look it up on Facebook, look up Omega 432, that's Brian T. Collins. You can also look him up on Facebook and YouTube. That guy's been doing research for 23 years, so do your research on that, and let's hope that we can get everybody tuned to the cosmic frequency of 432 very soon.
Agree, and you know what? We're gonna go out now with something that you reminded me of when you were earlier on in the conversation, speaking of Do Re Mi.
Oh.
And a nice little surprise for you, Fred.
No.
Oh.
Okay, Alan, bring it on.
Karaya Satahala. Karaya Satahala.
Well, I was thinking more of Do, a dear female, dear.
I knew it.
Me, I call myself love. Oh.
Hey, how's it going? Hey, Spencer. How you doing?
A note to follow so he a request
Hello?
that will bring
Hello?
back to town.
I'm on the air? I'm on the air? You sound like the sound of music. Are you serious? Yo, alright. Hey, listen, I just wanted to say, man, I'm listening to your show, man. And I just got a question. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, seriously, bro? What the fuck are you playing in the background right now, yo?
That will bring us back to.
What's your name?
Yo. Hey, what's going on, man?
A tropical star. Me, I call myself Mom. I'm on my way to run. Oh, I need a
Hey, check it, guys. Whoever's on the back line, not me.
Oh, Alan, you are so good, brother.